She said Marietta, Ohio, ding dong. Not Marietta, Georgia. I don't know why I didn't know there was a Marietta, Ohio.
I mean, why should you? It is small town, middle America, in the middle of Appalachia. I had never ever been to Marietta. Chris had actually been there before because there's a college, surprisingly. And he said it was like the smallest college he's ever been to. But yeah, we just, like it's hard to get away just as a couple when you have kids. So when you just have a long weekend, it's like, okay, let's figure out where we can drive relatively quickly and not waste all of our time in the car. So this time we hit small town Ohio, which is my favorite Ohio.
I don't see why you don't just move to it, really. I mean, I know the schools, but still, it feels more suited to you.
I would love to. We play this game every time we, hit someplace really rural because I think Chris would like to live someplace remote as well. And then you start to play the game of like, where does everybody work? I mean, I think we're like probably a good hour, maybe a little bit over an hour from Columbus. You're right across the border from, some bigger cities in West Virginia, but not big. And so I was like, shit, like, where does everybody work? Because there's really not much of a downtown. So it's like maybe the college, maybe, some of the little restaurants and shops around town. But there are a lot of like factories. So, oh my God, wait a minute. Melissa.
We love a factory.
Yeah, we love a factory. So, yes, small town Ohio, I love it. But I have to tell you, I have found the one Airbnb that I know that you could stay in and have zero fears about staying in it. You ready?
Okay, hold on. This is going to be a tall ass order because I cannot be convinced. I can't be convinced to stay in an Airbnb. The latest thing that's going around on the internet is that users are starting to get angry about the cleaning fee on top of they want you to mow the lawn and shit. No, motherfucker, no. I'm not cleaning a motherfucking thing, no. And I already clean my hotel rooms before I leave. Now you want me to clean your actual personal home before I leave? No. This is a scam.
Well, I think I've never had to like physically clean the rental that we've had before we've left. Obviously, some people will say like, hey, can you just throw the sheets in the wash before you go? That I don't mind. That's not a big deal. But this one, we walk in. So we stayed in a caboose. And when we got to the property, it was like residential, but it wasn't like a neighborhood because we're in the middle of nowhere. So it's just kind of like houses on this hill. We pull into the driveway and in front of us, I see a building and it looks like an office. There's like outbuildings with a garage. And I was like, where are we lost? What's going on? So we pass by this building and we go down the little hill, this little gravel driveway, and we see the caboose. It's adorable. It looks right onto the Ohio River. Gorgeous views. And we get inside and we open the door and it's new and it's clean. These people have gutted this old caboose and they've made it into this adorable little tiny house. And so we're looking at everything. We put our stuff down and there's a blue bag on the table and it says free samples. Oh. No, like a gift bag.
Okay.
With tissue paper in the top. So I walk over and I'm like, free samples, what is this? And I pull the tissue out and there are 3 full-size cleaning samples. The people that own it own the business at the top of the hill and it's a cleaning product company. And I looked at Chris and I go, this is Melissa's. And I wanted to text you right in that moment and be like, look at all this free cleaning shit.
Hold on. Is it like a big cleaning company I know about and like? Don't tell me it's OxyClean.
No, I've never heard of it before, but they make their own chemicals. I got like a special, I think I got like a toilet bowl cleaner. I got a
Don't tell me it's
cleaner.
Murphy's oil soap.
No, I think it's called like Janny Free. I thought it was a cleaning service company when we came up, and then I was like, oh shit, they make their own chemicals. So
You know I love
if
chemicals.
you ever
Oh
come
my
to
God.
Ohio, you can stay in Marietta because you know it's clean, because you know that they're going in there with their own bottles of chemicals.
Right, because it's their calling card. It has to be clean. Hold
Yeah.
on. What does it
Yeah.
smell like? What does it smell like? Does it smell really refreshing and like kind
Just
of
really fresh.
overbearingly chemical? Because I
It's
love a chemical.
great. Yes.
Okay, so wait, the high-rise building, they own it? Like, are they a big timer? What are we talking about?
No, it's like really small. Like there was like a, like a, oh, do you know, like if I say a pole barn, do you know what a pole barn is?
No.
It's like a garage, but like a barn, but not like a real barn with like wood and stuff. It's like got a concrete base. It's like maybe a step up. A pole barn would be like a step up from like a farm barn, I guess. But they can like park their vehicles in there. You could see all the pallets of like cleaning supplies, and then across from that was like a little, almost like a little ranch house kind of size, maybe like 1,500 square feet, and that was the offices. So it was like those two separate buildings.
So they're like a really homegrown
But they're like a
mom
real
and pop operation. But there's
Yeah.
like a lady named Susan at a desk, and she's been there for 27 years.
Probably.
She like manually stuffs envelopes and shit. Oh, I like that
Yeah.
kind of business too.
Yeah. So it was very fun.
Ooh. You have to text me a photo. Ooh. Okay, so the place was really exceptionally clean, baseboards down, all of that.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. They did such a good job, and there was all this cute little train memorabilia. They had sourced like tickets, and they gave you the whole background of it was the Baltimore and Ohio train, or part of the Baltimore and Ohio rail line. And in the kitchen around the sink area, they had all of these old train menus, and so they put them on the wall and then encased them like behind some plexi so you could see them, but they would be protected. And it was so cool to see, like, you could get a pot of coffee on this specific line, and it cost you like 25 cents for the whole pot. And we were cracking up at like how cheap things were. There were like little travel logs and certificates. It was so cute. And I liked this one better than the tiny house we did last year because it was a bit bigger. So you didn't feel so cramped, when you were inside. There was kind of space to stretch out and put your stuff. It was so nice. It was so nice.
Did you have to travel down? Like, was there a town to travel to for like a diner?
Yeah.
Okay,
So there's
so
a
you're
little
not cooking
town
in there.
Well, we did a little bit. So we went down. Let's see. We got there Thursday night. We ate dinner in, because I also like to go to the Krogers in these small towns because they're like time capsules of like a Kroger that existed 30 years ago.
Oh, like
We
not
were
updated.
Yeah, not updated. So they're like really old. We got into the parking lot and Chris looked at me and he was like, "You're going to put your mask on in here?" And I was like, "Yeah. I mean, we have to." But
Correct.
I mean, in rural Ohio, like I saw the political signs that were in people's yards, and I was like, we might not make it in here being these, out-of-towners wearing masks. But luckily we were safe. We were fine. So we did our little
Hold
grocery
on
shopping.
a second. They're really going to argue with motherfuckers in a mask?
I don't know because, I mean, it happens in big cities where you have a huge mix of people. And I was afraid of like walking in there at, 6:00 on a Thursday night and people are all doing their shopping and we come in with masks. Nobody had masks on anywhere we went this weekend.
Nobody wears
Nowhere.
masks in New York either, though. So it's not just red state. It's
Okay.
not. Nobody does. They're looking at you crazy when you do. And I'm looking
Yeah.
at them like, last night I went to go get my, the bivalent, whatever the fuck it's called. The new.
Oh, you got it?
Oh, yes. My arm feels like I've been smacked with a meat tenderizer. It hurts really bad. And I'm
I heard that-
exhausted.
Yeah, I heard that. My neighbor was saying the same exact thing.
My arm hurts really bad. Like I got
Oh.
punched at Cobra Kai, never die. Like, God damn. But Justin, me and Shalom got it. But while we were at the pharmacy taking our appointment, and obviously we had to bring Maja and Shira because Shalom was with us.
Yeah.
So our whole ass family's in the CVS, and nobody had their mask on. And I'm like, why would you go into the pharmacy where sick people go to get medicine because they're sick without a mask on? That's just goofy. That's dumb. Nobody had their mask on.
I saw a TikTok the other day where they were like, look at your scientists and your doctors and your CDC members. And he was like, tell me if you see them all wearing masks. You should do as they do and not as they say. There's a reason why. And I was like, yeah.
Correct. Old Joe's ass went on national television talking about the pandemic's over. However, the protocol to go and see his ass, you still have to have a negative PCR test day of. So what are you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't believe anything they say. The reason why I had to get it real quick was because I'll be taking my anniversary trip to Florida, and I don't want the strains and tribulations that they got going on because they've been in COVID denial this whole goddamn time.
That's twice. Wow, you really just went to the belly of the beast twice now.
Wait a second, when did I go?
Months. You went back at spring break.
Did I?
Yeah, you went to Disney. Why am I telling you this? Just block it from your memory.
I really did. I was like, when did I go? What you talking about? Ain't nobody going to Florida. Yeah. So
your anniversary's coming up. Is this? Oh, are you taking the kids or is this a sexy trip?
We're taking the kids. Because
fun times.
We have to go to a wedding, and the wedding is nearby my hometown.
Okay.
And flights and everything cost way more to go to where the wedding is because it's cooler and prettier than where I grew up. So I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to fly into my hometown, and then we're going to drive. We're going to leave the kids with Marlene and Papa and Nanny, and then we're going to drive. So we'll have like one evening to ourselves, and then we'll come back.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Is it?
It is. Yes, I think it's important. You should have that time because I don't know about you guys, but COVID really just done fucked up. I was on a good streak of like regular date nights. Yep. We were killing it in the, maintain the marriage segment of our, relationship here, and COVID just
Hold on. What year anniversary did y'all just celebrate?
16.
16.
Yeah.
16. Okay, yes, I'm 1 year behind you, so we're going on 15. Yep.
And that's like a milestone.
Is it?
I don't know. I feel like anything that ends in a 0 or 5, right? What are you going to get?
I don't know. Gucci? Am I getting it? Okay, you know what? Don't even get me started on gifts because it's going to derail the conversation. But you guys are in so deep, you don't even really have to do gift giving, right?
We don't have
to. Do.
I do. Yeah, I do. So nothing like major or exciting. So we just exchanged our little gifts, and we had a lovely little dinner out at this cute little restaurant that was like an old house that had been transformed. We had a beautiful garden and patio. So we sat out there, and it was just so nice to I really miss decompress. I watched a lot of Netflix. We were able to kind of have a slow morning, and then we'd head out around lunchtime. But it's just nice to be spontaneous. Be like, oh, let's stop here and get a coffee. Let's walk in here and see what the shop is about. Let's, we went to
when you before you had kids, sauntering.
Yeah, sauntering.
No time, no time restraints. Just living and being a couple.
Taking us?
Y'all hold hands and shit, cuddly up.
Yes.
Yeah, when I go to the wedding, I guess we'll hold hands. Maybe we'll hold hands. I don't know. Got to see what your nails looking like. But yeah.
Hold hands, snuggle up, have a cocktail. I had a little drink one day. So it was just nice.
You brought your little drogas. That was cute.
Oh, hell yes. And it was so cute because the back of the caboose had the little door out to the deck. So I could head out onto the little back deck, take my little, little smoke, put it back in, come back in, watch some more Netflix.
Y'all were cosplaying young romance. That's cute. It's true. That's what we're gonna do when we drop them kids at Marlene's house.
Yes,
we're gonna have outfits on.
Yes,
we're gonna be there to celebrate somebody else's love. It'll be cute.
It'll be so cute.
I'm so happy. Well, Mazel Tov. I feel like this is is this the third wedding anniversary you've celebrated on while having a podcast? While knowing me? Yes. Wow. Yes, it is.
Yeah. It's incredible how time flies. I think maybe it's only the second.
Right. But when we started officially.
Yeah.
We had been talking before and you had just had it. So it was like, oh yeah, I've been married a long time forever too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, married a long time.
Can you believe it?
It's a thing. No. Yes. No. Well, listen. I think about it all the time how it's very cliche to be like, marriage is hard work. It's not so much the hard work, it's the dedication and the it's fortitude, really. You know what I'm saying? Because, it's I think people think that they're supposed to have a good time all the time, and that's just not the truth.
Ugh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because both people inside of the marriage are going to be going through shit.
Right.
And each person has to be able to go through their shit while the other person is either understanding enough to help or understanding enough to not take it personally. And that's where the work comes in. You know?
That's very true. You're right.
Yeah. You got to have your person that can either know when to get the fuck out of the way or know when it's like, yo, you need help. I'm serious. And I feel like sometimes Justin Beck do not know how to get out the way.
Move,
and then
bitch,
gets in trouble.
Get out the way. Well, and I think that's true for every relationship at some point. You go through, not seasons. That sounds so silly, but like you go
it's
through
true,
like different, parts of what your relationship's like. And I feel like recently, Chris and I both said, like, I think that over the last 2 years, there's been a huge shift for us across the board, romantically, platonically, as friends, as partners in this for life. And I was really kind of thinking the other day about like what makes a relationship last. And I had heard Howard Stern's dad passed over their summer break, and they were saying that his parents had been married for 75 years.
Wow.
And I just thought, like, holy shit. I feel like we're killing it right now being together as long as we have, but like 75 years is a long fucking time. Mm-hmm. And what do you have to do as a couple to not want to kill each other?
Right. And I think it's very easy to have like feelings of despair and wanting to give up when you have a rough patch.
Yeah.
When the reality is the patch could just be a little, a little tiny splash in the pond in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I got to pee really bad. 1 second.
Okay.
But keep thinking that.
This episode of Imperfect Strangers podcast is brought to you by one of our favorite podcasts, Everyone's Business But Mine with Cara Berry.
Woo! I do love that Cara Berry over there at Everyone's Business But Mine, because you know what? There's a thing she does. You know how you'll be watching a show and you'll have real specific feelings about that show, but you don't know where to go with those feelings or who to talk to about those feelings because they're mad specific. She has that thing.
If nobody in your immediate life watches those shows, like For me, Sister Wives, who do I talk to about that? Chris doesn't want to discuss the nuanced relationships of like why Robin is always crying, why Christine left. He doesn't want to talk about those things with me. So Kara is the perfect outlet.
Yes, I went on her show one time to talk about Summer House, who I had nobody to talk to, and she was there and able to share with me in the rage of one cast member's incessant white jeans. And it's like, you need that. You need that in a person who, you know, very smart, very funny, very observant. Yes. I love going on her show. I love listening to her show.
So if you love getting into all of your favorite trash TV, you want to know what's going on the internet or in the pop culture world of celebrities, you can listen to Kara's podcast every week, Everyone's Business But Mine, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Okay, I washed my hands extra vigorously just for Christina Milian.
Who's that?
The one who doesn't wash her hands when she goes to the bathroom in her house.
Oh, I didn't know that's who we were talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever said exactly who it was.
I didn't.
Did we? Okay.
I didn't. Well, now he said it.
In my head, I was imagining Shailene Woodley because I feel like she was like one of those people that doesn't wash her hands after
For sure, she doesn't.
Takes a pee.
She's like a mountain climber. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah,
not a
she just
hand washer.
seems like, yeah, just very okay to just be like all raw and stinky, which is fine if that's what you like. Just don't be near me.
Yeah, she said she didn't need to wash her hands in her own house. Okay, girl.
Okay.
Couldn't be everything. Me. If you live with a man, everything you touch has got problems. Because imagine all the times that they're touching their nose and their dick and their butt. Get out of here. And Correct. They're touching all the items. Anyway,
they're touching everything.
Mm-hmm.
That penis is. Wash it. Just wash it off.
What I was saying is, I know it's the cliche of marriages work, but it is. You know what it is? It's a lot of emotional intelligence. And I gotta be honest, sometimes I don't know how to get out of Justin Beck's way. I will just say the wrong ass thing. Mm-hmm. At the worst ass time, I'll just say it. And he'll be like, are you serious? And I'll be like, yup.
Yeah. I did that this weekend, and I wish that I could take it back as soon as I said it because I didn't mean it in the way that I said it. And I don't know if yeah.
On the trip?
Yeah.
Damn! That's the one time you gotta behave.
Listen, I performed quite well and did all of my, loving wifely duties, and I only had one slip up. So and luckily for me, he did not hear last week's episode before we went on this trip. So he still doesn't know that I laid his chest hair problems out for everyone to hear. But I mean, we're so far in, he's got to expect that his business is going to be on this podcast,
Yeah, but and that's nothing. That's child's play, okay? When we're talking about long-term marriage, what we do and say in the motherfucking shadows that ain't for consumption, baby, we're surviving over here. Okay, we're going to get all of these kids to college, and we are going to fucking chest bump at the accomplishment of still being together. I'm serious. It's one person can't be in a funk, and one person can't be in a high stress career space at the same time. And when y'all have that, you gotta really hunker down and be like, how can I make it and not make it harder? Because truly the thing about marriage, the goal in marriage is to just make the other person's life easier, but both doing it at the same time. Can you just help me with this, please? And then he says, yeah, I'm going to help you with that. And can you help me with this? And then just top load everything with appreciation. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's all it is. But, we're all human and we all make mistakes. And then at the end of the day, they are dealing with the built-in disadvantage of being men. And that's just like... I'm serious. Crunchy face emoji. Just ooh. That's the thing you want to say to that? Okay, girl. I guess.
Yeah.
And they're just awful. They're not. Adam Levine is really stupid. Okay. What's wrong with them?
I mean,
I don't care. I don't. Like, he's not that interesting. This is not even that good of celebrity gossip. He's corny and, like, never been cool to me, and he has a very punchable face. I don't know why. Correct. I just never liked him.
Yeah, no,
and everybody thinks he's so hot, and I'm like, where, though? How?
Why? I don't see a hot guy. I don't know. It's his, like, petite stature, which is fine. I mean, I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum if you like a small man, but it's like the small man on top of the arrogance, on top of I feel like he tries very hard.
Yes.
There's a disconnect.
Yes.
His appearance gives one thing, but his like personality gives something completely different. Maybe if he just shut the fuck up.
Not even. Like, his appearance gives bitch. He looks bitch made to me. I don't care. He does. And now that I know he cheated on his pregnant wife, I can say all the bad things. That's mean as hell. That's mean as hell. First of all, you're so stupid that you're not flirting from a burner account with your dumb ass. You got to flirt from the blue check with your dumb ass. You are going to be hemmed up. And the other part is the girl involved in this, Sumner.
Yeah.
First of all, that name doesn't even fucking go hard enough for this level of fucking scrutiny. You're really going to text her out of nowhere and be like, I think I want to name my kid after you. Bitch, yes. Is that supposed to impress me?
No.
Because what you just did, do you have a Western Union near you? Because you're going to need to send me money because I'm going to screenshot this and I'm selling this. Dead ass. You better pay it. And every month that you don't pay it, I'm going to threaten to tell everybody, you dumb, corny motherfucker. I'm embarrassed that we did hook up, to be real with you. And then I saw all the text messages and they're just like, and this is why I don't sext. I don't do that. I don't send sexy text messages. What I'm going to say, hey, get that big old dick here, sir. What? Who? He's like, holy fucking shit. Your body is absurd. Please get away from me. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
So weird. It's so weird. It's like,
do you have fucking
child's
Instacart?
Play.
Yeah, can you bring me some food? What are you doing? Holy fuck. I don't want that compliment. Holy fucking shitballs, bro. You're so hot. What? If you don't leave me the fuck alone.
I wonder.
Like who is doing this?
I feel like a lot of people are doing this.
It's so embarrassing.
This isn't anything new. Like, think about Armie Hammer and all the weird shit that he was texting women. And
you just have to assume everything you text is a screenshot.
You know what? I tell my kids all the time, the internet is forever. Don't ever type anything out that you don't want somebody to see. Don't take pictures that you don't want somebody to see because that shit is fair game.
Yep.
And how this man thought that he was, you know what? Is it the arrogance? Is it the fact that he feels like these women should be so flattered, or any man that does this? Is it that the woman should be flattered and she'll never say anything Because why? Why wouldn't she say something?
Well, you know what? She's not without her problems, because the way she packaged it was, she's like, I felt manipulated because like I had just gotten to LA and like, you know, like I felt manipulated. Manipulated how, motherfucker? You was the one texting back and forth. You talked about you had an affair with him for a year. He's Googleable.
Yeah.
You knew that was his motherfucking wife. You knew he had a wife and kids. Manipulated where?
Right.
You participated.
Starfucker. Like
Not just
a new game.
You gleefully participated and you liked that motherfucker's music, and then when the shit fell apart, all of a sudden it's, I get, everybody knows he makes elevator music. Motherfucker, it wasn't elevator music when you was fucking twiddling yo shit tit. Stop.
Do, 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 do.
She was over there. This love has. She was loving that shit. So don't start with that, Miss Summer.
Oh Lord!
What the fuck is a Sumner?
I feel like I've heard that.
Is this a case of like where Oprah's real name is Orpa and the fucking lady spelled it wrong? In the maternity ward where her real name is Summer and now she thinks she's real special because somebody forgot a loop somewhere?
It could be. Could be.
Your body is absurd.
I just kept thinking, your body is a wonderland. So
you know,
corny.
I bet you his text messages are fucking crazy.
His text messages, I bet, are real dirty. I feel like he's just a real freak. Like he wants to like pee in your mouth.
Well, I think that he and Andy are really boyfriends. Sorry.
Really?
100%. Andy and John Mayer have impeccable chemistry. I don't know why they don't just fucking get it over with.
I never considered that.
Dude, they look like really cute boyfriends. You know what I'm saying? Impossibly rich.
Yeah.
They one goes his way, the other one goes that way. But when the one's in New York, he comes, he hangs out. You know, they do the things, and you know, they have a situation.
Yeah.
It looks like that to me.
That's the way to do it. Just have your life,
Or
have your own little thing going on. When it works, it works. Take your time. I mean,
I love
why
how
not?
you're like, that's the way to do it. On the same breath as, well, I just came back from 20 years. Happy anniversary to me.
Listen, I think had I not met Chris when I did, I think this all the time because of my personality, where the fuck would I have met somebody? I don't go to bars. I'm not trying to talk at the gym. I'm not trying to talk when I had a corporate job. Like, I really am just a mean old cunt, and I don't know how I would have met somebody. So thank goodness I met Chris when I did.
You had to, because you had to, because there's no way we would survive. Like, say, Amanda, we have to build your dating app profile. What are we going to say? What's your bio?
Oh, my bio is, gosh, I'm a real solid 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. kind of gal. I liked a nice dinner, so you better have money to take me and feed me well.
Oh, they're going to swipe on you. What's the swiping right? They're going to swipe right on you. Wait. Yeah. Which is the swiping direction if they say no?
I don't think we ever figured that out. They're going to swipe in the direction that says, get this bitch out of here.
They're going to swipe no. They're going to swipe no because they're like, superficial cunt. I don't have to have money. Which, first of all, yes, you do.
Right.
I could be broke by my motherfucking
no
self.
Scrubs. Right.
Hold on. So you're saying yours is going to say solid 9 to 3 gal, likes, you're going to enjoys delicious food.
Yeah.
And then the S at the end of delicious is a dollar sign. And what else?
Wine me, dine me, 69 me.
Okay, solid 9 to 3 girl, wine me, dine me, maybe you can 69 me. That's yours bio. Okay, so we figured out your bio. What's your pick?
I can't do sexy. I have a hard time figuring out how to do that with my face. So it's going to be just a very I'm going to have to take a picture that I already have and crop out my family, because that's really who I only ever take pictures with. That's hilarious.
But you got to crop them shitty, so they're clearly still there.
It's like a shoulder and maybe the side of somebody's face.
Well, that's gonna make them swipe no on your ass too, because they all are like, I don't want to be a stepdad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, bitch, I don't want to be a stepmom either, so fuck you.
You can't ever come to my house because you can't meet my kids.
Correct. That's true, though. You can't come over here. You can't come.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't know you. You can't come over here.
No. I need you to take that STD test. We got to make sure that,
Oh, they don't want to do that. The clinic, they're not doing that.
I don't want anything extra. I've made it this far. I don't need any extra, medical bills, prescriptions. We're not doing that.
But really, how do people that are coming up in this time and age with this technology, really honestly, how do you set up a profile? Because I set up a Facebook even momentarily just to get information about my kids' school, and I struggled with that entire page. Like, what am I gonna put here? I literally, my bio is no thanks.
Yeah.
So don't come over here.
Yeah, I would just be by myself. I mean, I know we've talked about this before, but thank goodness that I met my husband when I did, because I would just be, partnerless, floating through. But I wouldn't mind having that little boo thing. What are the kids
I
call it these
100% would
days?
mind. I don't want that.
You would?
I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. No.
Just a little casual.
Absolutely
hookup.
not. No, because I don't know where you go in the world. Absolutely not. Do you wash your hands after you take a shit? I don't. These are things I gotta know. And I feel like if you ask those things, you're the crazy one. And I'm like, ew. I gotta know this though. And you know what? I just, I think there's so much beauty and wonder in being left the fuck alone all day long. All day long. Like, what is loneliness? I don't have that. I have a rich interior life. I have entire conversations with myself. I'm not ever lonely. I'm serious.
I am the same way. I thought this weekend I could have come to this caboose by myself.
You were like, happy anniversary. I love you. You don't necessarily even have to be here.
I love my husband. I love spending time with him. I love alone time with him, but I also love alone time with myself.
Yeah.
And I think that we're often made to feel bad about wanting to be in solitude. And I'm like, but why? It's
correct.
It's so lovely to just be quiet and sit and just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yep. I mean, I'm never lonely because I have so many thoughts, lovely ones, intrusive ones, at all times, at the same time.
Yeah.
So many of them. I don't have time to entertain another person talking to me. That's a whole nother track introduced to the 7 tracks that are already going. That is a loud and stressful space. So I don't know. And I feel like I've been spoiled because I've had, a person for so long. I've been with Justin for literally, 2 decades. To where I can say all that very casually. Oh, she can say she doesn't mind being lonely because she's had a person this whole time. That is true. I really have not experienced true loneliness in many, many years, so I can't imagine really what it would feel like. But I also feel like when I have time to just me, I love it. I do. I can't imagine being stressed out every day with the slim pickings that are on the internet and being like, I hope this one's the one. I'm going to go out on like, there are people who they serially date. They have 6 and 7 dates a week. Girl, what?
That's a lot
of
work.
You have to have 7 outfits. You have to have different hair. And then you got to have that same small talk. So like, if you had a dream vacation, bitch, are you going to take me on it? Why are we talking about dumb shit?
And I find that like with normal social interactions, I don't know if this has to do with age or just I'm becoming more intolerant as I get older, but I recently had an experience where I was only gone for an hour and in a social situation where I felt so emotionally drained by the end of it, I was useless for the rest of the afternoon. I had to look at Chris and I was like, I I'm so tired from this one interaction. I was like, please just keep the kids out of my hair. You just do whatever you want today. I'm just going to be back here in the bedroom. Like, I can't do this anymore. I have to.
At least he understands that, though, and he gave me that space. Justin really thinks that I need medication. He's like, no, this is not normal, Melissa. And I'm like, it really actually is. I know that I am normal. I know that people are experiencing the things that I experience when it comes to social battery being drained, and he has not yet fully understood that when I say I only put my body where I want my body to be, that's what the fuck I actually mean. So when I have to do obligatory stuff that I don't really want to do, it takes a toll on me physically. I gotta actually lay down. I'm not even kidding you, I'll be still in the garage stripping layers of clothes, dead ass, so I can go lay down. I gotta lay down.
Yeah.
I have to take my outside clothes off so I can lay down. I gotta lay down. Are you feeling sick? Did your stomach hurt? What's going on? No, I have to lay down.
Yeah.
I have to lay down. Like my body feels heavy. I have to lay down. I can't carry my body anymore.
Yes.
And he hasn't fully understood that. He thinks I'm just antisocial, curmudgeonly, meanie. And I'm like, that too, but I do gotta lay down.
It's crazy. And I don't know if I think that maybe as a younger person, I didn't recognize, I remember, coming out of intense social situations, and really all social situations for me feel intense. But I remember coming home and my body felt weird. Like I would often have a headache. I would have this like weird mucus like in the back of my throat. My mouth felt really dry and weird. And I always would be like, why do I feel like this? What is going on with my body? I couldn't for the longest time connect the two. And I think that as I've become more self-aware in recent years, I start to understand, oh shit, no, this is not for you. And, we need to understand that like, if you're going to have to go into these situations and it feels like a performance a lot of the time, then we need to go and put on the mask and perform. And then we need to come home and just like isolate to recharge.
Yeah. And for me, it's not a performance when I want to be there and I like the thing. Like when I can be my true and full self, I'm like, yeah, I love it here. I don't even want to go home. But obligatory weird stuff I don't really want to do. Nah, homie. Nah, I can't. And that's motherhood. So if you're out there and you don't have kids yet and you're thinking about that shit, understand this layer, because this is the layer that motherfuckers don't tell you about. There's going to be a lot of situations you're going to be in where you got to make small talk. And everybody's like, what's so hard about small talk? It's extremely hard.
Yeah. I always feel like I'm struggling for things to talk about. Like when I'm in a small talk situation, I feel like I'm constantly in my own head trying to come up with like
the thing to say. And because you're in your head trying to come up with the thing to say, you have just now missed all the things the person said.
Yes. And I feel like, am I an alien? I don't know. Somebody will say something to me and I'll be like, oh, I should have like, I'll think of this later, like, oh, I should have responded with that, or I should have said that, or I should have asked them, how you doing? And I'll be like, oh, da, 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 da. And then I'll just stop talking. And I'm like, oh, I should have asked them, how are you feeling? How are you doing? What's going on with your day? But in those small talk situations, I'm just so flustered the whole time.
Well, you're in survival mode trying to answer the question properly when there is no properly.
Yeah.
And then because you've talked so long, now you're like, well, should I jump back in there and say, how are you?
Yeah, or we just...
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. And it's just like, we'll all be happier if we just don't... It's better if I just stay in here.
So let me ask you this, because I was thinking about this recently too. You have to go to an open house tonight for your kids' school. And we recently just did that. When you go to these parent meetings, or when you have to show up in public in front of somebody else as Shalom's mom or Maj's mom, Shira's mom, do you feel like an imposter in these situations where everybody else is an adult and you're like the imposter who's in there?
Yes. And then the whole time I'm worried that they walked away. Shalom's mom is weird. Maja's mom is weird. Shira's mom, wow, that's a lady. So like I try to make myself small. And in making myself small, I feel even worse because now I'm in my head thinking, oh God, I just came off standoffish as fuck. And I'm not standoffish. I'm not. I'm completely gregarious and lovely if I like it and I want to be there, but I don't want to. No, it's fucking terrifying. And then on top of that, I'm going to be the only one in a mask. Mm-hmm. So because I'm in the mask, there's already that layer of judgment. I know that they're judging me because they want to feel safe in their decision to no longer wear a mask. And I'm reminding them, oh, no, baby, y'all still got germs and you're not going to get them on me. So already that's putting me, I'm not at the starting line. I'm behind it way far. So, people extend their hand to be shaken. People want to shake hands. And I don't, I'm not doing that. So, that weird, awkward nodding with the shoulder hunch. Hi. Okay. And then they go, oh, you don't shake hands. I don't. So now I don't know. You were just digging in your motherfucking unmasked nose, digging all in your butt. I don't know you like that. And why we didn't have to even do that. You should have known I wasn't going to shake hands because I have this mask on. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, there's a lot of, like, weird protective measures I have to do. Like, I have to, like, keep my child on my person. Or, like, act like I'm fussing with her hair. Or whatever it is. I've created all of these little layers and boundaries to avoid what were normal constructs in basic social civility that I no longer have because you have COVID. And I don't want it. You know what I'm saying?
But I think even before COVID, I struggled with, striking up a random conversation. I will, obviously say hello and have a conversation with parents that I know, but I just always have this overwhelming feeling as I look around the room and I'm like, wow, look at all these adults. And when I talk to the kids' teachers, I'm like, I feel very,
not adult.
Not an adult. I'm a great mom and I'm on top of all of my stuff and my kids are, well taken care of and loved. But I often feel like I'm playing at motherhood, playing at adulthood. And when I'm talking to these adults, I very much feel like a child talking to an adult. Like I remember those feelings as like a teen or a young adult and being in the workplace or, being in a situation where everybody's older than me and they're not, but I just don't feel like I belong there. I don't know what. I don't know how to get past that.
I know what you're talking about. I wish I had a name. I wish I had a thing. And I think part of it is part of it is you have a rich interior life and a rich interior conversation with yourself. And part of that also is like, if you are a very curious person about the world around you and about other people in general, your takeaway in the condition of humanity is that everybody does what they're supposed to do. Everybody shows up where they're supposed to be. And everybody does and says the right and normal things to do and say. And you in your mind are like, I am really having to perform this. Mm-hmm. How are they doing this and making it look so easy? And I can't do it.
Yes.
But the crazy part is a couple motherfuckers in that space doing the same thing as you. Getting through it. Pretending they have it together. They do not. But some people are just more attached to and serious about doing that adult shit, and I'm not. So like that, I have to like really put it on because I don't want to embarrass my child. Right. She knows that I know what period on period is. You know what I'm saying? Like there's things I know about that are stupid. Right. That are really only for young people. But I also feel like a young people. I do.
Okay, so that's the other thing. So do you feel like sometimes you make references in front of other adults and
every day,
and it just lands flat because they're not in the same spaces online that you are?
Every day. I've been a very online person for a very long time, and it's very likely that you motherfuckers are not going to know what the fuck I'm talking about because it's super niche, dumb information. I can hardly talk to Justin Beck sometimes. He does not know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
He does not know what I'm talking about. And the funny part is he'll finally know what I'm talking about weeks and weeks later when that thing is no longer a thing.
Yeah.
And I have to pretend like I just got here too. And if that part sucks. I'd be like, oh yeah, that's so funny. It ain't funny. That shit was 9 weeks ago. Like yesterday, Justin Beck just discovered the saying sounds about white. And I was like, he's like, oh my God, that was pretty good. I was like, you know what I mean? And so
yeah,
I think that because you have the running ticker and your brain doesn't shut the fuck up, that it's very hard to stop all the other tracks of information and focus in that parenting thing, because your job is to not embarrass your child and to impress upon this teacher that I am the right person and the safe person to bring this child into the world. It's true. I feel like Shalom and I just went to a bar mitzvah together.
Uh-huh.
And in a bar mitzvah setting, all of the invited parents are very much adults. This is a time where the child is becoming an adult. We are celebrating the child's, movement to adulthood. So all of us here should be adults. But I'm also like, this is a lot of food and alcohol. Can we also have fun? But it's a fine line you got to ride. It's a fine line you got to ride. Can I be myself? Should I not be myself? My child is here.
Yeah.
Shalom doesn't want me to be anybody but the lady that takes her to school right now.
Yep.
And I had strict instruction. Do not come near me. Please don't talk to me. Okay, sure. Whatever you want.
Right.
But then at one point I had her bag and she had an emergency and she needed something out of her bag. So I had to go to the separate, VIP area where the children were. And I went in there. They had all the chicken nuggets. They had all the fries. I was trying to eat that. So I was like, can I just skedaddle into here a moment? And
right.
She was like, oh God. And Shalom happened to be one of the only girls invited. She has a lot of, friends that are boys. Yeah. So I went in there and I saw some children that I hadn't seen in a long time, and they'd gotten so tall, and I was like, wowzers, haven't seen you in a long time, such and such. And he was like, hey, Mrs. Beck. You know how they do. Hey, Mrs. Beck.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, I went to go give him a dap, a shoulder dap, like, hey, man, what's up? They got their Nikes on. I'm trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Shalom then later corners me. I dapped it. And after I dapped up the one, then they all came around. They're like, oh, hey, Mr. Beck. Oh, shit. Like, they thought it was so funny. So now I'm dapping up everybody in the little VIP 13-year-old section. Shalom then pulls me aside and is like, Mom, you just dapped up all my friends. I was like, I didn't mean to. I said I did the one, and then the other ones came. And she was like, Can you not? And I didn't realize that was really embarrassing. And I'm trying to, understand her perspective. I'm like, your friends just had fun. I understand that you can't see me as a fun person, but that was fun for everyone except you. And she was like, okay. And I was like, if you could just love me for who I am, that would be great.
Right.
She was
I love you for who you are.
Right. And who you are right now is insisting that I'm not cool. And I'm trying to tell you, though, I'm very.
Okay.
And then she apologized to me. She apologized to me the other day. That thing was on Sunday. She came home from school the next day and she was like, Mom, sorry. Real, I was like, what? And she was like, all my friends were like, dude, your mom's so chill. Why is she like that? It's weird. And I was like, am I supposed to be not chill? And she's like, I don't know. I guess you're supposed to be like, not cool. I was like, I keep trying to tell your ass I'm cool. But
yeah, Quinn doesn't. There's this thing for the middle schoolers coming up, and it's really fun. It's like a whole 2 hours of just inflatables and games and food and music. And my neighbor was like, hey, I'm volunteering. Do you want to volunteer? And I was like, oh yeah, that'd be great.
She said,
and
no.
yes. She goes, no. I said, what do you mean no? I won't even talk to you. I'll just be doing my own little task. But I was like, I think it'd be really fun. She's like, no, you're weird. And you can't control yourself when you're around my friends. And I was like, what do you, I'm the coolest
and
mom.
you're in your mind, when have I lost control? Where?
Right. Because I busted out and started twerking in the middle of the kitchen and your friends thought it was hilarious. And so I continued to do it because I also thought it was funny. Or because I know all the weird TikTok references you make and I'm not supposed to know those things and it embarrasses you when I bring them up in front of your friends.
Why can't you know them, though?
I don't see what the problem is. Right.
Part of your job as a mother is to know and understand the things your children are exposed to. I don't want to walk in as Steve Buscemi and be like, how do you do, kids? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I need to be on your level, but you want me to be a buttoned up accountant lady, and that's not who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that you carry that into your interactions where you are having to adult. And it's hard because that's not who you are. So I think the goal in any of those situations is to get in and get out. And then to also create, mom friendships with people that understand you for you. And it actually happens to be that most of the moms that I know are also either get me or also very online.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And there's levels to very online. I'm very, very online. But you wouldn't know it unless you knew me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Adulting is adulting. I don't even like that word. Obviously, we're doing it. These taxes getting paid.
Right. I know. The garbage gets picked up. The lights stay on.
Yeah.
There's levels of responsibility.
Yeah. There's a lot of good things happening. Everybody's fine. I'm clearly an adult. I don't know who made the rule that once you become an adult, you have to become really fucking boring.
Right.
It's true. Now all of a sudden I gotta wear baby blue fucking polo and khakis. What the fuck? No, not doing that.
I just got a pair of baby pink Doc Martens. I'm so excited to wear them.
Cute.
But I know Quinn's gonna look at them and be like, "Really? Yes, really, Quinn.
Yeah, and then one day
let me live." Yeah.
And then one day she's going to want them. Dude, Shalom's wearing all my clothes now after she said they were not awesome. I was like, okay, girl. Okay, girl.
Well, thanks again for listening to yet another episode of Imperfect Strangers Podcast. And if you enjoy this show, would you just tell some other people about it? Maybe leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Let's invite some more stranger friends to the neighborhood. This neighborhood is one where we all mind our own business. We stay in our houses. We might offer a friendly wave from the driveway or as we pass you on the street, but nobody's trying to make you come to a block party on a Saturday. It's just a really lovely, nice neighborhood where we can escape each week for 45 minutes to an hour. And if you feel like you need more Imperfect Strangers podcast in your life, well, then you can come join us in our gated community called Patreon. It's patreon.com/imperfect strangers. And in there, it is just the landscaping is perfection. Everybody picks up after their pet. It's a really nice place to be. We have 4 different tiers over on Patreon. You can find the one that suits you. Lots of great bonuses and benefits for signing up to be our patron. So thank you to those of you who are already there with us and enjoying that little gated community. It's fun in here, right? You can catch this podcast every week. I'm not even going to say Fridays anymore because What's a podcast released on a consistent day? Who are we? My favorite murder? No. So, you'll get it when you get it. We're going to make it, guys. We're going to get to 100 episodes. We're going to love it. So I want you to take this day and love the fact that we finally got this episode out. I want you to live like the world is not on fire. And I want you to laugh at how utterly stupid I am in this outro. Go listen to Caraberry. Thank you for sponsoring this week's show, Caraberry. Everyone's business but mine. And then also listen to this show again because we get a 1/6 of a cent every time you listen to those Geico ads. Okay, goodbye.
What I really love about Caraberry.
Yeah.
What I really love about Caraberry. You're the editor.